Today I'm be going back and giving my new opinion of Marcus, all his cards, best card setup, abilities, anything I think is worth note from all the changes that have been made from him. I know everybody's been asking me to go back and do all the other characters since TC has made so many changes to them. I did most of my build videos shortly after the characters were released. And I will be over the next 2 weeks doing the rest of the characters. But today I have Paduk up, I'll be posting it with this, and gonna start with Marcus, as I think Marcus is one of the characters that got the biggest boost by far, and is actually, I think, what most of us wanted Marcus to be. Now, granted, they made it so in order to have Marcus at where we wanted him, you need to get two brand new epics that they released up. Yes, that sucks. I spent 30,000 coins to get these two cards up. So let's get into it. His Living Legend now does not need to, it bypasses the reload and gives you all active, so that is really sweet. But sorry to say, after much testing, everybody that is used to being able to get 10, 15, 20 plus waves of his living legend, you're probably not going to have that happen. I straight melted two Brumax or Swarmax back to back in a living legend, then killed everything else on the board, killing the last enemy only seconds after the second to last enemy, having to go and hunt him down a little bit because he got downed. And yeah, I got my thing going for one more wave, and I was killing that wave, just straight melting it too. Now, in the past, if I did that, before they changed how much time you get for the living legend per hit and based off the damage, that alone, killing those two Swarmax and finishing up the rest of the wave quick, that would have been enough to go for another couple of waves easy. But I tried multiple times, and you're just not going to be pulling insane amount of waves back to back having a living legend. But the nice thing is you get your living legend really quickly, and once your cards are up, you should be getting it at least once a wave, potentially 2 times a wave, 3 times on a long wave. So, let's get into the cards. Oh, just to note, yes, his passive ability now is he takes no damage during executions, which is pretty sweet. I actually like that passive. So, here is the high-end and low-end difficulty build. It makes no difference. I'd still be running the same cards. 1, flank them. You don't actually need to be... Oh, they actually changed the wording on it. Yes, it's from the side or behind. It's very easy to get the flank damage. As long as you're not shooting them directly straight forward, you get this bonus. Very good card. Headshot Mastery, bonus crit damage with a living legend that goes straight to the head? Yes, sir. Rifle feedback, yes, we still want our living legend to go for as long as possible. Custom Lancer, more bonus damage. Let's do as much damage with Marcus as we possibly can. He is actually a real beast with the claw, but you do want a second weapon, and the Retro Lancer is definitely my choice. Claw when not using the living legend, Retro Lancer when using the living legend to get the headshots, and if you run out of ammo, then just switch to the claw. Now, personally, I like the all-out damage output on him, just to keep my living legend going, get it as fast as possible, and do as much damage as possible. I have completely dropped the defense out of my build, and I run these 5. But on the same note, what I do recommend is flankum, headshot mastery, rifle feedback, and then you just gotta decide, or actually, It's either Flankum, Headshot Mastery, Custom Lancer, or Rifle Feedback, and Band of Brothers in Defense, or Dug In. So if you're running all 4 of these and you want a little defense, you would drop Last Ditch and you would put Dug In. You can also run Flankum. You can run all 4 of these and you can run Band of Brothers. You can run Headshot Mastery, Flankum, Custom Lancer, and Band of Brothers and Defense, and just be a little bit more powerful and just not have it last. But or you would go with the Rifle Feedback, Headshot Mastery, Flankum, and Band of Brothers and Defensive Stim, and be going less on the Lancer. Say you're just not really using the Lancer. That would probably be your build if you're not using the Lancer. But most likely you're going to be running all 5 of these, or you're going to be running all 4 of these, and you'll be either running Band of Brothers or you'll be running Dug In. Either or, both are good. Personally, it would really, I would say, it's whether you're in cover a lot or not. You're going to be using your Living Legend a lot. 60% less damage the entire game, even when you're not using your Living Legend, I think is better than just running Band of Brothers without the bonus defensive stim. But it's dealer's choice at that point. Now on to Escape. That is the Horde. And let's just go over a couple of these cards for everybody that hasn't seen my previous video. And already explained these two. This is all assault rifles will increase your Living Legend. And as I said, you're not going to be getting a crazy amount of time back. But as long as you keep hitting during a wave, you will keep going. You should still be able to at the least get several kills or handful of kills as long as you time it right. Custom Lancer works for any type of Lancer, GL, Retro, Standard Lancer. We have Last Ditch, which is increased damage when he has low health, but it's only less than 80% health. That's why I choose this, because as soon as he starts taking damage, 90% more damage on Marcus. I was doing like nearly 600 damage with the claw, straight melting them down. Like this setup right here, once you got this to 5s and a 6 or all 5s, he's doing so much damage, it's ridiculous. Really nice to see him doing that. Band of Brothers, so you get stim, but you still need full health. So as soon as you get damage past your stim, you do have to wait to get your health back to get that stim. This increases the amount of stim that you can hold. So, stim capacity, you would have the ability to get up to a 200% stim if yours was 100. Executions reduce cooldown time. Any executions will reduce your cooldown towards your Living Legend. So again, as long as you're in cover, you receive this damage reduction bonus. Explosive resistance, your resistance to explosive weapons or grenades. Extend Rifle Mag, definitely no longer recommending this at all, since his Living Legend bypasses the reload. But as a very beginning card, if you're a new player, it's a good card to put on at the start. Reduces Lancer recoil, exactly as it's worded. It reduces the recoil of the Lancer. And this gives you a larger radius, so if you're aimed slightly more off the target, you'll still get the headshot. Without this on, you do have to be pointed fairly near the enemy. Now, a lot closer than you used to be. But I don't expect many people are going to be having a problem with that. I think this card is completely trash. I mean, if you're... I think it's more noobish than anything, but in certain scenarios, if you want to have a lot of fun, you could pop a lot of heads. So on to the Escape. without a doubt, these two right here are a given two for your escape setup. Now, escape does vary from map to map, especially if you're trying to play them a lot. Custom Lancer is only good if there's a Lancer on the board. No enemy is going to drop you a Lancer. So we do have flank 'em. We do have Headshot Mastery. Last Ditch is another excellent choice for escape. Dug In is another excellent choice for escape. Most likely on most escape maps, I would actually be running Flanked In, Headshot Mastery, Last Ditch, Dug In, and for the fifth, it probably would depend on the map. Very likely I'd be running Rifle Feedback, to be honest, so when I do use my Living Legend, I can keep it going. And my standard 5 for him is, for most maps, unless I really wanted to swap something out, would probably be this 5 right here. But yeah, definitely these two, without a doubt, on every escape map, would even be in your leaderboard with the 2 score boost. And personally, I think Rifle Feedback, Last Ditch, and Dug In are going to be your most consistent choices for most maps playing as him. I mean, obviously there is the Lancer, so if you have the Lancer, drop one of these 2 defensive cards and take the bonus damage on the Lancer, or you drop the Rifle Feedback and you have a shorter time. It's just going to be your preference and your play style at that point. Personally, I would just run these 5, and if I had, I will give you my opinion. So, if I had the Lancer, the card that would have to go is Dug In. I would go for the damage and less for the defense and cover. I would actually pick depending on the map, but more often than not, I'd probably be going for Last Ditch. And that is Marcus and my opinion of the best card setups for Horde and Escape. I hope that helps.